Hello, and welcome back to my channel. In today's session, we're diving into an essential topic within technical, vocational education and training, national occupation standards. This topic is crucial, as national occupation standards lay the groundwork for the development of vocational qualifications that meet the needs of industries across the globe. We will explore the concept of national occupation standards and discuss their role in developing skilled workers, and look at how they serve as the foundation for creating effective vocational qualifications. Before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to leave a comment with any topics you'd like me to cover in the future. Let's jump right in. Technical, vocational education and training provides students with the practical skills, knowledge and competence they need to succeed in the workplace. This type of education is directly linked to specific occupations, family of jobs, and includes a range of vocational qualifications such as certificates, diplomas, and even degrees across various sectors. Vocational qualifications are essential for equipping students with industry-relevant skills. They are structured around national occupation standards to ensure that individuals are trained and educated to meet the specific requirements of the labor market. This alignment of vocational education with industry needs is what makes national occupation standards so important and crucial. National occupation standards, also known as occupation standards, national occupation skills standards, or units of competency, outline the skills, knowledge, and abilities required to perform a job competently. These standards act as a benchmark for education and training assessing workers, ensuring candidates are capable of fulfilling their roles effectively and meeting industry expectations. The development of vocational qualifications is closely tied to national occupation standards. They define the competence standards required for a job role, and these are used to design the curriculum for vocational education and training. By using national occupation standards, vocational qualifications can be developed that ensure students are equipped with the right level of practical skills and theoretical knowledge to perform their job effectively. For example, in the hospitality industry, relevant national occupation standards might include units on customer service, food and beverage handling, and health and safety practices. When designing a qualification for this industry, these standards would guide the content of the course, ensuring students are prepared for the demands of the workplace. This alignment between training and education and industry needs is what makes vocational qualifications so valuable and relevant. Essentially, national occupation standards bridges the gap between employers' training needs and vocational qualifications. This connection ensures that vocational education is practical and students acquire job-ready skills. National occupation standards are used across the world as the foundation for vocational education systems, helping to ensure that qualifications are aligned with labor market needs. Here are some examples of countries using national occupation standards to develop and maintain their vocational qualifications. United Kingdom. National occupation standards are developed by sector skills councils for each industry, defining the competence required for specific job roles across sectors. New Zealand. National occupation standards are integrated into the National Qualifications Framework, ensuring that qualifications remain relevant to the changing demands of the workforce. This approach ensures that industry feedback is continually incorporated into vocational qualifications, keeping them current and applicable. Australia. Units of competency are developed by industry reference committees. These units form the backbone of vocational qualifications and detail the skills, knowledge, and workplace performance standards required for specific roles. Canada. The Council of Directors of Apprenticeship works with industry stakeholders to develop national occupation standards for various trades, ensuring that qualifications are aligned with the skills employers are looking for. South Africa. National occupation standards are set by sector education and training authorities in consultation with industry, and these standards underpin qualifications registered on the National Qualifications Framework. In countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Bangladesh, and Jamaica, national occupation standards are also being adapted to meet their national industry needs, ensuring that students are equipped with skills that align with both local and international market demands. National occupation standards are developed as individual units, much like qualification modules. However, instead of using traditional assessment criteria, national occupation standards use performance criteria to measure competence. This competency-based approach ensures that students are evaluated based on their ability to perform tasks and apply skills in real-world contexts. Each national occupation standard unit is structured to focus on a specific aspect of a job role, providing a clear framework for defining the required skills, knowledge, and competence. Let's look at the typical structure of a National Occupation Standard unit. 1. Title. All units must have a clear description reflecting the learning outcomes, content and focus. 2. Unit number. Each unit should have a unique identifier for tracking and organizational purposes. 3. Level. Indicates the complexity of learning and should be linked to the National Qualifications Framework. 4. Credit value. Represents the learning time required to complete the unit. The National Qualifications Framework should also define this. 5. Learning outcomes. Describe the knowledge, skills, and competence learners should be able to do upon completing the unit. 6. Performance criteria. Outlines the specific standards learners can do to demonstrate that the learning outcomes have been achieved. This shows the learner is competent in a particular task. 7. Knowledge, skills, and competence. This section defines the essential practical abilities, theoretical knowledge, and job-specific competencies that learners must demonstrate to complete the unit successfully. 8. Evidence requirements. Specifies the evidence needed to prove learners have met the required performance criteria. This could include practical demonstrations, written assignments, or examinations. 9. Range statements. Provides additional information on the scope of the skills and knowledge described in the learning outcomes, ensuring they can be applied to various contexts. This detailed structure allows for flexibility in how vocational education and training are delivered, enabling students to build skills progressively and at their own pace. It also supports recognition of achievement, allowing students to gain credit for their skills as they progress through different units. Using National Occupation Standards significantly benefits employers, workers, and vocational education and training providers. Some of the key benefits include clarity for recruitment and training. National Occupation Standards provide clear guidelines for the skills required in specific roles, allowing employers to benchmark job descriptions and recruitment criteria against the standards. Vocational education and training providers can use National Occupation Standards to develop relevant and industry-focused curricula. Worker mobility. National Occupation Standards enable the transferability of skills across different employers and regions, particularly where standards are recognized internationally. For example, the ASEAN Skills Competency Standards. In Southeast Asia, skilled workers are facilitated across borders. Enhanced training quality. National Occupation Standards improve the consistency of vocational education and training by providing a clear framework for the skills and knowledge learners need to develop. This leads to higher quality training experiences and better outcomes for learners. Career pathways. By detailing the competence required at different levels of a profession, National Occupation Standards provide a roadmap for career development. Foundation for qualifications. National Occupation Standards are the building blocks for vocational qualifications. They form the basis for curricula, learning resources, and assessments, ensuring that vocational qualifications remain aligned with industry standards. For example, in Singapore, the Skills Future Initiative uses sector-specific frameworks to develop modular vocational qualifications, aligning training directly with industry needs. These frameworks ensure that vocational qualifications equip workers with the skills outlined by industry standards. While National Occupation Standards provide many benefits, their development and implementation are not without challenges. Some of the key challenges include 1. Keeping standards up to date. With industries evolving rapidly, National Occupation Standards must be regularly reviewed and updated to reflect changes in technology and workplace practices. 2. Ensuring inclusivity. The development of National Occupation Standards must involve a broad range of stakeholders, critically employers, industry experts, education and training institutions, and government bodies, to ensure that standards reflect the needs of the entire industry and are not biased towards certain groups. 3. Effective implementation. For National Occupation Standards to be delivered, they must be supported by robust assessment and accreditation processes. This ensures that learners are evaluated against the standards fairly and consistently to ensure that vocational qualifications are recognized and valued by employers. Creating vocational qualifications with the guidance of National Occupational Standards involves a systematic approach to ensure that the qualifications align with industry requirements and competency standards. Here is a simple breakdown of the steps involved. Identify the National Occupational Standard units corresponding to the specific occupation for which the qualification is being developed. For example, A qualification in information technology might include units focused on network security, software development, and data management. This step ensures that the qualification covers all critical areas of the IT profession. Next, map the learning outcomes derived from the identified National Occupation Standard units. This mapping confirms that the qualification reflects the competencies required in the workplace, aligning educational objectives with practical job functions. With the learning outcomes in place, design the curriculum that will be used to teach learners the necessary skills and knowledge. The curriculum should be structured to effectively deliver theoretical understanding and practical skills, ensuring learners meet the specified standards. Develop assessments that evaluate whether students have met the learning outcomes and adhered to the performance criteria specified in the National Occupation Standard units. These assessments should rigorously test knowledge and practical abilities, providing a reliable measure of learner competence. Use the National Occupational Standards as a benchmark to ensure that the vocational qualification maintains the necessary quality standards and remains relevant to current industry needs. This continual alignment with national occupation standards ensures that the qualification is robust and meets the expectations of employers and industry stakeholders. By following these basic steps, vocational educational institutions can create qualifications that are directly aligned with the skills and competencies that industries demand. This process helps develop a skilled workforce that is well prepared for the challenges of the job market. Conclusion: today, we've explored the importance of national occupation standards in shaping vocational qualifications, examined their structure, and reviewed their benefits and challenges. National occupation standards play a critical role in ensuring that vocational qualifications are aligned with industry needs, providing learners with the skills they need to succeed in the workplace. If you found this session helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content on technical, vocational education and training and skills development. Also, be sure to check out my website for a range of blogs and free resources. The link is in the description below. See you in the next session.